Hello there everyone and welcome to bitparade.co.uk's look at Albert and Otto. This is, I assume, a German developed game. This is part of our series looking at games that we wanted to, or I in particular wanted to take a look at. Before we did our indie games you might have missed feature, which we do every January, looking back at the previous year's indie games, and this is one that sort of, I think we did a how good does blank look. I think we did something with this and then never got around to reviewing it. I played through this last night, and so I'm gonna start a new game. I can resume, but I don't know whether that's gonna resume. But what I will say is this isn't the whole thing. It's part one of, I don't know. There's space for a second. I don't really want to start a new game, or do I? Let's see what. I mean, maybe I do, because I don't have to redo all this if part 2 comes out. Right, we are quitting this, and we are going to start from the start. So, this is a good start so far. The reason I don't want to completely wipe my save, or why I'm reluctant to, is because if this does carry on in part 2 and I need to finish part 1, this is a very difficult game, and to get to the crux of it, I'm not convinced it's difficult in the right kind of a way, and maybe you'll get to see. But I do, I like the darkness of it. That's such a cliche term, but you know when you take something quite nice and skew it, I'm sure there's probably an actual. The Germans probably have a name for that. They probably have a word for it. And I like that. I like this undermining of niceness. So your sister has disappeared, and you, Albert, are going to go and get her back. And so we can. Oh, maybe not. There we go. I wanted to see. I knew there was something up there. I didn't know what I was going to do. So we've got a gun. And so you can see it's very, you look at it and kind of say, oh, it's very limbo. So I'm going to show the early parts of the game. It won't take me too long to get through, I don't think. So we paused the game to get our shard collection. I think I was missing 2 by the end of the game that I didn't see. So I don't know. I don't know where I missed them. Move blocks. So it's. So far so easy. It gets very, very difficult later on, and one of the issues I have with the game is that you let's get this one as well, shall we, just in case, is that you do kind of have to I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, so I was kind of glad that's landed like that. But there are issues where you have to put things on spikes, and it won't land the same way. Trine has the same issue sometimes. It's an issue with physics, and there you go, there's a message from your sister. The middle is Otto, the rabbit, her toy, which you find at some point. So we got to tell us how to shoot. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So there'll be times where you die because you just didn't know what was coming. So you can see we need to put something to bring that down. So we played. What's the game I played the other month? Oh, I've got a terrible habit of starting talking about things before I've thought through the end of the sentence, which just means that I sort of go, yeah, I was playing this thing. I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, there's been there's a large number of games like this now, and you can point to Limbo, which I think is way more polished than most of these other games that come out. Shen, which was one of our indie games of the year, if that's what you want to call it, last year. Fantastic game, also made in Germany. Again, very difficult, but I thought that got the balance right. So yeah, like I say, there's one of the issues with the game is you won't know that you're in trouble until it's too late, and you can. I'm a little surprised at that stone. So there's rough edges to it where things like if you wouldn't be surprised if walking into a stone that had stopped moving was enough to kill you. But it should be fine. But yeah, like I say, if you don't know stuff's coming, and they've lent into that a little bit, because you you do get there we go. You get a death counter at the end of the game, and there's achievements for doing it in a low number, and there's they're even running a competition at the minute to if you beat their score, you get I think $20 on Steam, which is, you know, it's nice to see the developers. Okay, so I am clearly missing something here. Oh yeah, that. So the platform in itself is okay. So this is Otto. We're going to pick up. Platform in itself is mostly fine, but it gets a little. There was a point on the last boss where I was jumping up and wasn't physically hitting something, but I was clearly catching a ledge somewhere, and I was sure there was a thing up there. Oh well. So we've now got a double jump. So we let's see what if there is anything up here. Nope. Right. Okay. Cool. Let's go this way. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying now, but yeah, it's a difficult game, but I'm not convinced it's a difficult game in the right way, in the sense that sometimes, like I say, you die because you didn't see things coming. And other times you'll die because you're just being asked to do things that aren't so easy. Like this platform is not especially difficult, but okay, so we need to find a way to. Okay, so this is where you start coming into some puzzles. So I don't mind some of the puzzles. There is one I got stuck on that's not too far away, but this is a nice little introduction to it. You can weigh Otto down. Oh, sorry, use Otto to weigh things down, get him back. Now he does have an ability. So you see what I mean about sometimes the physics. Where I was thinking about it last night is the physics are a little too faithful. So that's, you know, there's a thing there, so I can't go any further. But it feels like the game should be a bit more forgiving and should take control a little. Should override the physics a little bit, just to kind of go, yeah, you got the essence. Go. So is it here? Yeah. So this might take me a while because I'm not entirely sure I can remember how to do this. I know we don't go down there yet because you can't get back up. So what I think we have to do is, I was doing this backwards for a while, so this doesn't seem to really do anything out here, but inside it drops these things were closed, these things like these bars on the left and right, so we now need to shoot this, which drops that down, which starts a gear pressing, which means I can now reset gear moving at the bottom. I don't need to worry about this. This is where I'll probably die. Okay. So I say the platform itself, just normal platforming elements, aren't too bad. I don't mind the puzzles as such. We'll hopefully get to a bit where you'll see what I mean, in terms of it being a bit more clumsy, I guess. Like I say, accurate in terms of the physics, just maybe it doesn't do itself any favours by doing that. So let's have another look at this letter. Planes. So I think it's set during the war, I'm guessing. There we go. And so let's do this and do this. Ah, shite. So, I don't know. That's kind of my own fault, I guess. I sort of knew probably something coming, but this isn't the most accurate way to oh shit, to aim. So what we could do, give myself a bit more time, is move like that, and I'll stand here. Let's jump over and get this. So I mean, I've not written the article yet in terms of which indie games are gonna, you know, what's gonna be on there. But having finished this last night, I wanted to do a video for it just because there's things about it that I think are okay. So this stuff doesn't get used. Look how it's windy, and you'd think that I'd play into it. I felt like I was missing something here, but I don't know what. Like that's just there, and then it's never used again. So I say I don't know everything that's going to be on there. I don't think this is. Now, I think. Yeah, I think this bit coming up gave me a few problems. Yeah. So what we have to do is hold that, go on there, and oh, there we go. Did it first time. A little surprised I did it first time, but this is making me look like I know what I'm doing. But that took me so long last night. So I don't mind a difficult game. That's a doctor, I think, rather than a robot. It looks like a robot. So I think we might be coming up to the first boss. In which case, yeah, this is the first boss. So okay, we'll do the first boss. I haven't really got to show the bits of the game that I'm less keen on, but oh shit, let's go. Okay, that worked a bit better than I was expecting, but so what we want him to do is, so this is where it gets a bit more tricky. It gets a bit more fiddly, and again, you might get to see it because he starts. Oh shit! So you can see there's boulders falling, and he does a laser thing again, and I think, yeah, he does one. Oh right, so Otto died. He got hit by a boulder. So we need to redo that. And so one of my big issues with the game, the final boss is A, hard, and B, I don't think it has a checkpoint, or maybe it has one right near the end. You kind of have to do it all in one, which I admire to some extent, but it's too long to be doing that, and it involves one too many trick shots. Well, actually, it involves two. Two things where it's like, I don't think I could reliably. Shit. Okay, so I was gonna say I think I'm dead. I need to go and pick him up because he does the laser again. Let's risk putting Otto here because I didn't have a problem with that last night. I don't think he does a laser. Maybe if he does, then we're in trouble. But he doesn't. Okay, and that's how you do the first boss. So I don't want to show too much more because, you know, it's not really... I didn't want to do a let's play, and I've made this look a different game from how it is on your first play. But I want to show some of the... If I can, some of the more leaps of faith element, or not necessarily leaps of faith. Oh, but this is some of the, there's some good ideas here. So this is one of the bits that I do like, is when we start getting sheep. Okay, so now I've got a new power, which lets me, I don't think there's anything that way, we can now power things, so, oh for fuck's sake, do you see what I mean? With the, you're going to die at points, and I think the thing with difficulty is, oh shit. Is so long as you feel like you've had a chance, I don't think people generally... I mean, some people just don't like difficulty full stop, but there we go. But most people, a lot of gamers at least, will be... We also pull this out. We'll be quite happy to, you know, don't mind a challenge or something as long as it feels fair, and it's why... Well, I wasn't a huge fan of Super Meat Boy. It's why other people were, is because, you know, they felt it. It gave them what they wanted. You know, it gave them. Okay, well, go on this way then. The controls were there for them to do the things they needed to do, and this is where it sort of reminds me of Trine a little bit. So let's put this one up here. This is where the physics maybe get a bit. You can end up with, like, it doesn't just snap to it. I made it look a bit easier than it is, but you can end up with, like, you know, that's why it reminds me of Trine, is that's less than ideal. Actually, this is a pretty good area to sort of demonstrate my problem with it. So look at that, like the angle it's on, I will slip off there. So we'll maybe stop after this, so I should be alright on that, but you see it's not exactly, see how it's sort of moved and things, and it's a bit more... That's where I'd like to see the AI be a bit more helpful. Okay, here we go. Right. This is case in point. There's a bit in the last boss that involves this, so I'll probably do it first time. But as you can see, I'm supposed to fire these rocks up here. Now, when you're moving and doing things like that, it's not as easy as I've just made it look. It's typical that... Oh, fucking hell. And again, there's a fall that without knowing, like I've played this game before, but without knowing that that's coming up, I was going to struggle with it. There we go, got that now. So let's leave Otto there. Let's read this there. So without, like I say, without... You know, I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. I think it'd be this way, wouldn't it? No. Why would I need to... Oh yeah, to keep that door up. Okay. I got it. Oh yeah. So the shooting puzzle and things, they're not... So this one is maybe a better example of it. When you're... Sorry, I've messed that up. I need to... Here we go, you see this sort of thing? Where... Now, is that... can I stand on that? Not too sure. I need to... No. So maybe my fault for how I approached that then, but I didn't mean to leave Otto. I wanted to get that piece. I'm not going to get that piece. I am going to get that piece. Let's okay, we're going to do this. So let's drop Otto there, and this is where it maybe gets a bit more. So we need to get him to drop the thingy by using his electricity, and then shoot that rock, and then hopefully get back across. So again, not hugely difficult when you know what you're doing. It takes a little while. So I do like the puzzles, but because of the sort of creakier elements. Okay, so and we get to show sheep. So I think this will be the last thing that I maybe show with this. I don't know if we can shoot this guy in the face. Oh shit. Let's show a sheep. Yeah, so that's the sheep. You start to use them a little bit more. I like the sheep. They float. They burn. There's the multiple use items. The sheep. So yeah, that's Albert and Otto. I wanted to do a video for it because I do think there is stuff I like about it, and it's something I've been meaning to take a look at. It's not going to get on our indie games you should play feature, I don't think. But so you can shoot the sheep if you want to put them out of misery. Okay, you can see they float. You might be needing that sheep again. So I'm gonna leave it here because I don't want to show too many puzzles. But yeah, so our indie game feature will be up in January at some point. Look, it's actually January now. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Come and visit us at bitparade.co.uk. I want to do at least one more of these videos, hopefully for one that does get on the list. I've not played shit, I forgot what it's called. By the guy that did the Beginner's Guide, that's what it's called. By the guy that did Stanley Parable, and there's a few other things that I'd like to play. So I'll have a look at what's on Steam. I'd like to do something that isn't on Steam as well. It isn't a PC game, but I'm not too sure if that's feasible. But yeah, so like I say, come visit us at bitparade.co.uk. This has been Albert and Otto, which is quite cheap. Part 1 of I don't know how many. Kind of interesting that they're doing a part. It's a platform game and there are multiple parts for it. The story's not terrible. What there is, I mean, you've kind of seen as much as there is. It's all told through the occasional cutscene, very few of those, and those letters that your sister is leaving for you. I don't know that it's that great. It's certainly better than a couple of games that I've played this year that are similar. And I did manage to complete it. It's fairly short if you're good at it. So my second time through, I think I've got to this point a lot quicker than I would have done. That said, the thought of doing the last boss again is, not something I particularly want to do. But in terms of content, there's not loads there, but then it is fairly cheap, and like I say, it'll take you a while just because it's so difficult. But hopefully, if you are stuck with it, if it's in the first half of the game, then hopefully you've seen how to do it. But yeah, like I say, thanks for watching. Come visit us at bitparade.co.uk, and yeah, there'll be another few videos up in the next few days.